that's how it goes sometimes. You do the best you can and you do all you can. And sometimes accidents happen and sometimes things don't get better. Yep. And that's just how it is, right? Right, Mimi? Hey y'all, I'm Amy and this is Misty Dawn Farm. Thanks for stopping by. So tonight we're gonna do some evening stuff. We're gonna pick some veggies and we're gonna feed some animals and we're gonna have fun just hanging out together. So let's go. This is a bed of, this is supposed to be a bed of carrots. As you can see, the weeds have overtaken most of it. These are the carrots. It's all grass and dollar weeds. This is a dollar weed, let me show you. You may not know what a dollar weed is. Looks like a lily pad. They can get pretty big. They grow off of runners and they grow in wet areas. Now I live in an area that borders a swamp, so it stays pretty wet here, which is why most of the gardening I do is in raised beds because of how wet it gets. But the dollar weeds grow on runners and they spread and intertwine around everything. So when they started popping up among my carrots, if I would have pulled the dollar weeds, I would also pulled out all my tiny little carrot plants. So I decided just to let it go and we would see what happens. Maybe the carrots would grow straight, maybe they wouldn't grow at all, I don't know. This is a purple carrot variety and we're gonna pull a couple and see what happens. Look at that. Well, that didn't seem to affect it at all. This purple carrot variety, they get a bunch of these little roots coming off the main one, but look at that. It's fairly straight and it's a pretty decent size. I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay, I brought y'all around to this side because this is where I have my orange carrots. And I pulled quite a few of these already. They are my favorite. Let's see here. If there's any that look like they might be close to ready. Look at that. Well, not so much. Let's throw that one to the pigs. Pigs are right here beside you. There you go, Luigi. The ones I've pulled, the majority of them were ready. These are a smaller carrot. They're not gonna get as big as the purple ones. That's decent. That's a nice little orange carrot. Let's pull one more and then we'll call it good for the carrots. There's another one. These are really sweet. I like these. Look at these sunflowers. Aren't they pretty? I've got these growing out here in my arched trellis raised bed area. The reason that I planted sunflowers here in this large bed, that side over there is my okra and this side over here is my peppers. Now what I've got is I've got one, put you over there. Okay, I've got one really long bed that's pretty wide. I would say probably 4 foot wide. And I planted peppers down the outsides of the row and sunflowers in the middle because I'm out here in the open where there's no shade. And while peppers do like it hot, in this hot Florida weather, they can handle some shade. So the sunflowers, which you can do the same thing with tomatoes. And if you need a more of shaded spot for your tomatoes, if they're just getting too much sun where you have them, you can plant some sunflowers beside them. The position that I have these in is that the morning sun comes up there and all the plants on this side get sun all the way to like noon, and then the other side is shaded, and then in the afternoon all the way until evening the other side gets all the sun and this side is shaded. And it's not solid shade, it's a filtered shade because, you know, there's gaps and stuff, but it's just enough to help the plants not get like scorched or anything. So, little tip there. Sunflowers are good for many things. Also, I was gonna tell y'all, the baby birds that were up in here are now gone. There's, out of the 4 eggs, 3 hatched, and then 2 made it to old enough to fly off. Well, hop off, fly off. They lived in my sunflowers for a little while, and then they flew off. So I thought my beans were done, and I thought that would be the end of it. But then my pole beans, they just keep on going. Look at the size of these dollar weeds. They're like the size of my palm. That's massive. What I didn't tell you before about these is that they are actually edible. They're perfectly edible, and you can put them like in your salads and stuff. I don't know. I've never tasted one before. I don't know why. It smells like nothing. It smells like nothing. Should I taste it? I mean, I'm just now sitting here thinking, like, I know these are edible, and I know I could fill like a salad full of these if I needed to. You know, if I ever needed to, and they just grow. But I've never tasted one before. Maybe I should just taste it. Taste it when everybody's watching me? Okay, I'm gonna try it, because why not, right? I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, maybe if it was like with a bunch of other salad stuff and dressing, but no. So this is my temporary setup here, because if you've been following me, you know that this milk goat was not planned. So this is my temporary milking stand. She does not appreciate her being hand milked. Like, I guess where she came from, she was machine milked because she doesn't like to be hand milked. So I tie her legs, which is very gently tied, and she has room to move them. She looks uncomfortable, but she's not. And it just keeps her from knocking over the milk bucket, and it helps her understand that this is what we are doing. It's a learning process. Last night I actually attempted to milk without tying her legs, or they're not actually tied. This piece slides up and down and it just loops over her leg. It just keeps her from kicking forward. So, like that. And as you can see, she can still move her leg around. She just can't move it forward. So, also, what you may have noticed is that before I started milking, I milked out a little bit, not into the bucket. So what you didn't see was when I put her up here, I have her head in the thing, and she's eating her feed. And then I attached her feet, and then I wash off the milk bag with a sanitizer. And then I turned on the camera, and I squirted out the first little bit of milk, and then the rest of it is what goes into the bag, or into the bucket. Now Annabelle, what are you doing, honey? Did you finish your food already? Hi, baby. Now, ideally, you have a milking room, completely sanitary, completely closed off from all the other animals, preferably climate controlled. But at this moment in time, this is what we're doing, and this works just fine. When I first started milking Miss Willow, I actually have my goodness, I didn't have a milking stand. I didn't have a way to hold her still. And I was like, well, she was a milker, so I'm just gonna try milking her. Oh my word. It was a fiasco, y'all. And so that evening, my husband, Brian, put together this stand for me real quick. And I attempted to milk, and my friend Miriam told me how she did the leg straps, and she actually brought me two of what she uses for her goats, and I milked, and she fought the whole time, but I was able to milk her out. And with goats, they can be very stubborn, and you just have to, if you let them decide, and if you let them boss you around, they always will. But if you, I guess, assert dominance and say, this is what we're doing and this is how it goes, then you're like, oh, okay, cool, this is how it goes. She's still learning. Still learning. She finished her feed, and now she thinks she wants to get down, but she'll be okay. She'll be okay, won't you, ma'am? We'll be done in just a minute. Do y'all see something different? Y'all see anything different in here? I spy a few different things in here. See, that's not a turkey. Those aren't turkeys. Look at the little floofy cheeks. Long story short, a friend of mine gave me 4 chicks. Yes, and they are living with the turkeys. Which, I mean, y'all, when you have older chicks and you put them with younger chicks, they don't do well. I put these little ones in here with these turkeys, thinking I wonder what's gonna happen. They don't pick on them one bit. They're just, they're like, it's fine. Not once have I seen a turkey peck one of these little chicks, and they just all live together, and they're just all happy. And I'm like, I love turkeys. I love turkeys. I like chickens too, but it's so nice. They're just accepting. They're like, okay, cool. Hi, Batman. How you doing? You're a good boy. So, I debated on whether or not to share this because it's not happy and it's not cute and it's not fun or exciting, and while that's how most things here are, it's not always that way. Life on the farm is not always easy, and things do happen, and it's part of life here. So one of our little duckies here, it came out the other day, and this little one had what appeared to be a broken leg. And it's just, I wanted to give it a couple of days and see what I could do. It's not anywhere that I could splint it. It's like up in the hip type area. And his leg is just completely limp and can't move. And he just, there's nothing there. And he just has to drag himself around. And so sometimes you have to make hard decisions. Sometimes you have to know whether or not something's gonna get better, or for a bird, a duck, living on the ground is not okay. It can't survive with just one leg. It's not a dog that could survive with 3 legs with no problem. It's a duck, and it needs it. So I'm gonna give him a day or 2 more, and we're gonna keep nursing him, and we're gonna see. He eats just fine, he drinks just fine. He cannot get around at all, and he just kind of lays on his side all the time. And that is no life for a duck. Yes. So we're probably gonna have to say goodbye to this little guy. Yes. And that's how it goes sometimes, you know? That's how it goes sometimes. You do the best you can and you do all you can, and sometimes accidents happen and sometimes things don't get better. Yep. And that's just how it is, right? Right, Mimi? Yes. Okay, y'all, one egg from in here today. That's how you know it was hot day. Hot day. Nope. Oh. Theodore, you are something else. Okay, we just had to say hi to Barney real fast. Hi, Barney. Hi, Barney. He says no thank you. No thank you, not today. Theodore, do you want to say hi? Come here. Oh my gracious, you're massive. Theodore says hi. Okay. Oh my goodness. And George, Snuckle Fritz are over there. I'm sure they say hi too. Okay, let's go feed the other animals. He's a good baby. He's a good kitty. You a good kitty? Yes, you are. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. He's a good baby. Thanks for hanging out with me today, y'all. Until next time.